Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm Valerie Milano. I'm the senior editor of the Hollywood Times and Aspiring magazine. And you not only wrote and directed this film, but you also starred in it, as we know, and you play Lydia. Can you share what first sparked the idea for this story? And was it inspired by a personal experience or an observation or something else?
Yeah, so it goes back to actually when I was in my 20s and I made a web series that the movie is based on called Guest Appearances. And the web series started because I was in an acting class and the teacher said to write a monologue about your life. And I was very overwhelmed. I was dating and I felt like I, at the time, was sort of juggling two hearts in my hands, and I was very confused and overwhelmed. And Lydia's voice was in my head, and that's where it started. Yeah.
Thank you. So you've assembled an incredible cast: Ed Begley Jr., Andrew Leeds, Keith Carradine, Robert Carradine, and more. What was the process of casting like, and how did it feel acting opposite such an iconic group?
Oh, well, it was such an honor, and I feel very grateful that I got to work with all of my actors. So Ed Begley has been kind of in our family for, forever. My dad and Ed are very close. They often go on walks together. So the scenes where they're walking, was definitely inspired by my life, our lives. The whole conceit of the two dads started because I thought, how could I get Ed to play my dad, but also have my dad be my dad?
Yeah, that's
And
cute.
that was how that started. And then my dad and Keith go way back. They were in the Long Riders together. Keith has been very kind to my dad and my family. And I was so nervous to offer him the role. And I guess he really liked the script. And so that's why he said yes. And Andrew Leeds, I met through my friend, and then I was studying at the Groundlings, and he was super supportive of me during that period. He came and voted, and he was just in my corner. And yeah, so that's and then I was very anxious to send him the script because he's also a really talented writer and an actor. And he loved the script, so thank God. And then Tim Sharp, I have a history with as well. He was my favorite actor because of that show Enlightened, the Laura Dern and Mike White show. And then I was in an improv class at UCB and Tim Sharp walks into the class and I'm like, "Oh my God, he's my favorite actor." And there he is. And so at some point I got the courage to ask if he would be attached to something else I had written. That movie didn't get made, but then I ran into him kind of towards the end of the pandemic. I had written a play and I wanted him to be in it, and there he was. It was like the universe presented him again. And he said yes to doing the play, which then evolved into me getting the courage to eventually send him this script. And then there we go. So, and then Bobby Carradine, also goes way back with my dad, and he came. Our line producer, who's also in the movie, Ben, who's hilarious, is very close with Bobby, and he thought of Bobby for Joey Bragg's dad. And Joey and I did a movie called Sid is Dead together that my brother produced. And I had an incredible time on that set with Joey. He's incredible. And yeah, so sorry, I think I covered everybody. I
You
hope I didn't
did
leave
pretty.
anyone out.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you talked about your parents. You talked about Nicholas.
Yeah.
Then you got your mom, Pamela, was also in the film. What was it like blending her part of the family into that creative process? Did that add any new layer of comedy or comfort?
Both. I think, my mom is also my partner on the movie. She produced it with me and she's, my biggest advocate always. And she coaches me for auditions. I coach her for her auditions. We're very close and we also work very well together. The only conflict that came up was that she really wanted to go to not only my nephew's birthday party, but also she wanted to wrap on time so that she could be there on his actual birthday. And unfortunately that day was tough, but I got her out. And but yeah, no, it was a heaven to work with my mom and have her. She's also really gifted at improv and yeah, I love her. She's the best.
Cute. Holiday films often have a built-in sense of nostalgia and tradition, as we know. What made you want to set Lydia's story against Christmas and New Year's? And how do you feel your film plays with or subverts the holiday rom-com genre?
So Rochelle Begley, also really lucky I got to work with her, Ed's wife. She's kind of why the Christmas seed started, because, well, we had all made the web series together and there was discussion of making a third season. And she had done some Christmas movies herself, and Ed had too. And then I was also in a Christmas movie called See You Next Christmas. So there was a lot of Christmas conversation going on. And then I really thought, well, this is actually perfect for Lydia because her love life is inextricably kind of tied to her parents and the chaos there. That's how the web series wasn't just about Lydia and her dating life. It was about Lydia and her family and how what they thought of her dating life and their involvement in it, which I think is fun. And so it just worked for her to be home with the parents and kind of, and I do think a lot of those that moment when you are going to choose if this a romantic partner is your like new family is intense because you have your other family. Like how do you, you know, the moment you get married, it is a new family. And so yeah, I think it just worked for the story. I forgot your second question. Oh, how
No,
did we
go
subvert
ahead.
it?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not that a traditional Christmas movie in the sense that there's not many scenes of opening presents and there's no Christmas dinner. So it's a little more focused on what's going on with Lydia. Which in hindsight, I think maybe I should have done more, but I don't know. I don't know if I don't think I was trying to subvert it, but I did.
Okay, yeah. So from a directional standpoint, what was the most challenging? I'm sure there was something. What was the most challenging scene to capture, whether emotionally, technically, or logistically?
I think the day of the New Year's Eve party was one of the most challenging days. Although the church day where we did all of Lydia, like all of Lydia's journey in the support group was in one day at this location. That was intense. And I realized it was so intense because I had forgotten to eat breakfast.
Oh, jeez.
So I couldn't remember my lines and I was like, what is happening? I was so memorized. And Tim Sharp, who was in the not on camera at the moment at the time, whispered to me off camera, don't worry about the lines. And that was really amazing. But yeah, I would say the church day and and then all the date scenes. We were at a restaurant where I used to work actually way back when the manager kindly let us shoot there. And that was an intense day because I had an actor waiting for way too long and then he had to leave. It was a whole thing. There were a lot of stressful days, but we got through it and it was fun. And yeah, we made the most of it.
So, as opposed to that, was there a moment during filming where you thought, yes, this is exactly why I wanted to tell this story?
I think there was every single day, probably every single hour, I was so moved by what was happening and so grateful. And there wasn't a ton of time to sit in those feelings because I was moving and doing everything. But I was every hour I was like, okay, this it's worth it.
Hollywood rom-coms sometimes get dismissed as light, but your story deals with deeper issues like addiction, self-worth, and courage to choose love wisely. How important was that for you to weave those layers into the film?
Really important. I mean, I think it was a little scary because it's hard to talk about self-help stuff in a movie and have it be interesting. You know, you don't want to like just preach to people about what they self-love. I don't know. And it feels like, oh, is this a tired theme, self-love? And but to me it's essentially, I mean, it's essential to the story because Lydia is the protagonist, but she's also the antagonist because it is a story about addiction. And so, yeah, if you don't have the deeper part there, it's really just a girl dating a lot. And I tried to get to the root of her problem And I think, yeah, any movie has to do that, you know? So I hope it worked and I hope it's interesting. But yeah.
The film industry, and I'm winding it down, is shifting in terms of opportunities for women and women writer directors. What was your biggest challenge in getting this project made, and what advice would you give to other women who want to create and star in their own work?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it was a really long haul, you know, from the web series to the movie. But what made the movie happen was the web series because I had this proof of concept for the world and the characters. So I would say to any female filmmaker, aspiring filmmaker, that if it might seem totally not possible to get a movie made, but then make a short, make a web series, make just prove that you can do it in you know video form, you know, and then also have a really work hard on the script because I had a manager I know, family friend said to me years ago, it does just write good scripts because they will get read and they will be seen. If I mean not every script gets made, but you know what I'm saying, it's just do the work, put your head down and do what is possible like within your means, you know, and then and just keep making stuff and keep practicing because I was more ready because I had practiced and because I had shot stuff with these actors. And so yeah, just keep doing it and don't give up, and it's worth it.
Right. Thank you, Elizabeth, so much. It's nice to meet you virtually. Maybe one day we can meet in person. And
Yes.
yeah, tell our readers and our viewers how can they find out more about you and about your film, website or social
Yes.
media or what?
Yes, my Instagram is Liz Guest with two Z's. And then the Instagram for the movie is Let's Call the Whole Thing Off Movie. And we will be premiering in Newport. If anyone wants to come, we'd love to have you at the Lido Theater on October 18th at noon. And we're really, really excited. It's a gorgeous theater, the Lido. And yeah, so that's you could see it with an audience. I do think comedies are meant to be seen with an audience. It's just funnier. So yeah, I hope to see people there.
Great, great. Well, we're the Hollywood Times dot today, and our YouTube channel is the Hollywood Times Official, and we're also aspiringmagazine.com. Thank you so much for taking the time and your creativity, and hope to see more.
Thank
Thanks so
you. Nice to
much.
meet you.
Thank you, you too.